an addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. Oh, I'm a Stampers Anonymous.
Good morning and welcome to the second Stampers Anonymous Curations Live. We are together, Trevor and I are going to do our best to showcase some of the fantastic samples that have been made over the last couple of months by our magnificent design team. We have a little special date for today because today's one of the first times knowing that this could happen. We always scheduled ours for 11 o'clock because thinking that as Tim and Mario continue to educate and share all their crafting fun with us, that they're going to be on at 12. So today's the day where I guess the 9th grade or junior varsity team is going to warm up for Tim and Mario. So bear with us as you wait for the good one at 12, but we'll give you some fun inspiration now that has just really, as always, showcased the fantastic artwork of Tim Holtz in the stamp line, stencil line, and Etcetera tags, many things that we make that are all made here in Cleveland, Ohio. So good morning to everyone. Good morning to Tim and Mario. Of course, they're, as always, they're with us in spirit and in love. Let's see, bring that right into there. There we go. We always have a pleasure with them here with us. The makers, we've got a page dedicated to them where we introduce and reintroduce them each week or each time that we do this, as it were. And here they are. They are some wonderful friends in the industry that have really helped Tim through the years, and now are continuing that along with taking care of continually promoting and helping the Stampers Anonymous brand. We surely can't ever thank them enough for their fantastic talents. So thank you very much.
Tell them to go with the page on the website.
And yes, like Matt says, we want to have everybody go to the page on the website that will link you to their social media and more details of all the projects and the like, details of how they made the things and what they used for all that stuff also. So keep that all in mind. Like to also welcome and say good morning to my fantastic crew here that takes care of making us all look pretty darn good as best they can. They try. You're right. You're right, Trev. They give it it's hard to polish that, but we'll give it a go constantly. But to Tom and Will, thank you very much. Katie's not here today. She's in Pittsburgh for the weekend and Columbus for different things. But Matt, of course, who does all the technical work and has been doing so many things behind the scenes to get us ready for this. And of course, Rhonda down in Florida, who takes care of coordinating everything with the makers. We just can't ever thank everyone, surely, throughout our company enough. So with that, Trev, what do you think?
You ready to get started?
Well, I think we should, because
right.
we got to keep our time moving fast for the
Yes, we do.
For the big shots
the big
coming
boys,
along here at 12 o'clock.
All right.
So as we've talked about in the past, for those who don't might be new to us and so forth, we have the original sets that when Tim first designed the first 100, they were always done without any markings or anything. It was just the pink rubber, obviously with the imprints on the back with the logo. Now, Tim came up with the idea and the concept, could we take those and make something fantastic where we would actually print on these? Stickers have been used in different companies, but we went ahead and tried it, and we were able to, with Tim's encouragement and a lot of help through the industry, be able to print on those. So with that, the first set is our CMS IC Paris number 9, and that one has generated some fantastic samples and so forth. Matt, are we doing the pictures first on the screen, or are we doing the collage first? All right. So our samples that are up on the screen start to show different things. Our wonderful logo made by Barbara in Italy. One of the stamp sets from the mixed media line. But this is CMS number 9, as we talked about when it was done the original way. Followed by then some fantastic samples that are over the top. Latifa has made a beautiful card. Love the way she always sets everything, obviously, too. Obviously, Cassie's jumped into the whole fray, too, making things out of the set with a little bit of homage to Paris and so forth. Keisha has done different things for more of the travel set with the postage behind it. using lovely archival links. And then here we have a little collage of what the actual cards all look like when they're all together, and just seeing the different size variations and how they are used and alike. So that is CMS number 9. And then our next set that we've got comes up, and that is the CMS number 46. And again, it is the white set first, showing then secondly the set where we went ahead and did it in the new method of how we manufacture them, like all the sets from 100 on to 500 that Tim has been so known for all the way along, that you can use for positioning and alike. But we've got fantastic cards again, made by our lovely Jen Shirkus over on the coast. Louisa, who is, of course, we can never thank enough for our fantastic theme song. Thank you very much, Louisa. Wonderful samples again this time that just go over the top. We've got a star artist with Diane Reevely and Jay Moore from her own line of the Dilutions line. Zoe from Italy, also making different things out of the Umbrella Man that we call so belovingly. Juliana, who also has used that in a different method. And then, of course, the collage itself that shows all the different ways that the cards were used and different sizes and so forth, how they fit with the proportion of what we do and the like. But again, just an amazing array of different things. When Tim does a release, there was always 6 to 9, but now we've, in order to keep this the right way for us and give so many people selections, we've gone ahead and obviously upped it to about 30, so that we have different things with stencils and stamp sets, mixed media, and alike. But again, both styles, where it's the original method and then the new method. This is an example of when we don't do weeding, that we leave the stamps in the set itself, and that allows for the smaller pieces not to fall apart and get lost. And it also helps us in the manufacturing and keeping the cost down. Everything is made right here in Cleveland in our warehouse, and so it allows for completely a new way of keeping stamps in their nests, and it kind of caught on nicely, so we kept it going like that. Here again, Susie has taken and made a wonderful tag. Sherry-Ann has done her amazing colors. Like Tim always says, it's so amazing when you start to look at people's techniques, how you can actually judge right away. Oh, we know who made this one. This is Natifa's, or this is Sharon's, or this is Cassie's. You always can see and just fall in love with all of those things. They've taken some fantastic shots of their tags and so forth, and so that has helped us throughout the whole time. And again, we just put these out here so that you can kind of get an idea of how they look all together and alike. The next set is something that when Tim came up with, we're like, gosh, I don't know how we're going to do this with just a couple of stamps on a set. It was one of the first times that he had done that, where it was just 2. But this flourish took off so much. It was his first one of like this, where just 2 stamps. But boy, every single project for the years in the beginning, some 18, 19 years ago, constantly had the usage of these on the different parts of the project and the like. So, of course, CMS 70 is what it's the number, and as we call it, our fabulous flourish. And here again, Louisa has made us a fantastic tag that is a nice collage version of the artwork on that set. Is a background. And then through it, this also has different elements from other sets that we've gotten use with of this release. A little combination of different things, but Keisha's got a beautifully bright card that's got the white embossing on it. And then, of course, Di and Jay have made some tags where they are just over the top creative that we have in different sets of these. Our next one is CMS number 78. And this one, you know, Tim, everybody always wants a lot of Tim's little sayings and Timisms, as it were. We have not still ever gotten that per se, but one of the things that Tim has been so good at has always been using typography and creative design in doing things with artwork and phrases to make it together. So we have used that and had just a wonderful ability to put these on the inside of cards with the sentiment to make the tags that Tim has with the outside artwork come to life with something that also fits his thoughts and things. But this was one of the first ones we ever did like that. We've got some fantastic cards again that show so many different ways to do things. Some of the things also now using the alcohol inks that'll be featured later today, most especially the neon ones that are being that were introduced this past Monday from Ranger, that Tim had in the works for quite a while, but they are just so bright and vibrant. And here's an example of one that came from my good friend Joy out in California. She has used the alcohol inks to the neon ones in particular to really just make some things stand out and the like. But CMS 78, another winner that is just got so much ability to utilize in all the different projects that we do.
Now we're over 100 at this one.
Now we're over the 100 mark. So the first one over 100 is number 102, CMS 102. It was in the very beginning when, we were trying to print on here, and let me tell you how much fun it is to take and try to get this small little fine print on rubber off of a cylindrical tube. It's a machine that is used to print irregularly shaped objects, so it's not meant to print flat. And in one of our video tours, we'll have some examples of that in upcoming curations where that will be utilized to show you how it actually transfers the inks and does all the different wonderment of the mechanical uses of our machinery. So obviously Juliana has made a fantastic card that is beautifully using these images. Vicky and Cassie and Barbara all have just really worked on different things. Luisa's wonderment with all the different layering and so forth. She's been really a lot on the internet recently, it seems like, doing so many different things with these splat cards that she's been making. One of Vicky's cards that's also using these different images. Cassie's got her take on it, where we've got the old tickets and so forth. And again, then we've got just a fantastic collage showing them all together and so forth. But some of the cards may not be in this picture because they're in the next one using a different set and alike. So the next set is one of my favorites. When Tim showed us this, I was so worried because it's such a tough one to make stuff out of with the reverses and all of the heavy print and alike. But CMS 108, the hotel tags, just really embodies the whole idea of travel and so forth. I've got a special card that Tammy has made, or not a card, but it's an actual project that she made using watercolor papers and these tags on an Etcetera tag. So we'll get to that. But these tags that were here made by Barbara and by Zoe and by Keisha and Jen, again, you can tell right away their things, how they did it and what they look like with their little take on how they've done the different things and so forth. And then, of course, everybody loves a good wobbly card, as we've talked about many times. Shaker cards and alike, and Joy from California has really always utilized a lot of things that are in the industry that may not be so much in the mixed media aspect, but going back to all the different fun that we've had making cards over the years.
That's one of those warp speed wobblers, like
Yep.
Tim used to say. Yeah.
I know how much Tim loves to wiggle with those things, obviously. The next set is a little bit a salute to our country's 4th of July coming up in a couple weeks, CMS number 122. We've got a blueprint strip that is also available that is a different size version of different parts of the artwork or a different angle of the artwork. And so many of these cards this time made by Tammy and made by Cassie all have cross usages of them. Barbara is one of our lovely makers from Italy, along with Zoe, and they have really taken a little bit of liking, I think, some of the wonderful color schemes that they've used over the years, but also still with the red, white, and blue. We've got the flag prominently displayed. Tammy, of course, I just love how the props are set up for these pictures. Like when Tim will talk about the different ways that we could never do that enough here. So that's why Matt's like, well, you guys stay with what you're doing with the pictures because you're fantastic at it. And it allows to really showcase the artwork in a way that is over the top for what we just can never ever.
It brings it so much personality.
It does. You're right, Matt. You're right, 100%. So that is CMS number 122. And then one of the ones that Mario III, Mario's son, drew all this artwork. And I think most of you heard the story, but evidently Tim and Mario were talking about bringing back some blueprint stamps that were Stampers Anonymous style, and they couldn't get the right artwork that they could find. And Mario was doing some work at the studio, Mario III, and was doodling and said to Tim, are you talking about artwork like this? And even Tim and Mario didn't realize that Mario III could draw so well. And we ended up bringing him that year to Las Vegas to CHA, and he came and signed autographs, and we got a beautiful drawing table that we had him there for with his artwork, and we had an entire line of blueprint stamps because of, we always talk about Mario expertise in the kitchen, but here we've got Mario III's expertise with a pencil. So we sure appreciate that fantastic artwork. And these cards here, again, different ways of doing things. You can always see something that is a big Dilutions setup where it takes the cards into a different journaling style versus so much a card or a tag or a like. But this blueprint set is one of my favorites, and it really just is wonderful for making vacation scrapbook pages and entries to do things of that nature. Then we finish off the launch with something we try to always, each time we're going to do curations, bring back in one of the amazing artwork sets from the original Stampers Anonymous line. In the very beginning of when we got together with Tim curated a line by taking so many of the different pieces of art that he loved and that Ginny Carter Smallenberg had picked from the beginning from artists from her past and brought them into things. And then we were able to make some fantastic stamps. Some of these artists went on to have their own stamp line and so forth, but Di has made cards on this one. Zoe has made cards. And again, you're getting to see how it's all done with the product shots and the like. Keisha's got a fantastic card here that utilizes the parrot, and it's actually a little book and so forth. But we've got, with these, there's just so many different variations on how this works. Sharon has got just an amazing take with the bright colors and alike, and some of the things that Jay and Di did kind of surprised me because they're muted for as wild as the colors that Di likes to do. I think this is one of those ones they must have done on a night when they were just very calm and had some classical music playing or something, because it's definitely a little bit out of the ordinary. Louisa has always dressed up the cards fantastic with all the extra tchotchkes and the like on there. And then Susie has done a fantastic card that just sings with the alcoholing. And, you know, here are the two that Di and Jay made that just, you know, really are different than anything else they've ever done. And I just, the alcoholing cards with the liftings and the like, it just shows it off quite a bit. I'm hoping Tim is going to, obviously with the new neon colors today, just really showcase that. This book that we've got from Keisha is just fantastic. So blessed to have great samples here all the way around with these. Then we get into the COMs, which stands for components. And basically, again, back in the beginning, everything was pretty exciting when we started doing things in the beginning with artist trading cards. So long ago, that was kind of the in vogue thing. They went from pin trading to artist trading cards. So those artist trading cards, Tim made little collages, so it was a one-stop shop to make a tag and be able to trade those with people and so forth. So he took his own artwork and collaged it, and then we've taken and reintroduced those, changed the packaging up a little bit, but it really just shows off so many different ways to make up amazing projects with something that's over the top. Latifa has sent an entire series of tags and cards here.
There's a lot going on.
Those, we'll show these when they come back up in 3D. And Barbara also from Italy has made something that we've just got so much, like you said, so much going on, Matt, with these. Every time I look at people's artwork as a wannabe stamper, I've grown into it over the years. But yet still, I'm always amazed at constantly the ambition that they'll make a project for. You know, this one here Barbara made, that we'll open that up with the tag and show how beautiful that is in just a second here too. Obviously you see how it's opened up there, taking the different things. But these are the ones here that Latifa took and made some amazing envelopes, as she's always known to do, and then taken and framed up all of the components that she took, and they're just absolutely gorgeous envelopes. This is the, you know, obviously different types of pastes and so forth that you can utilize, all the stencil use. And then Barbara took and made this beautiful tag book itself with the COMs, and it's even got the hotel tag back from the set that has our tags on that.
Make sure you show on the back of the one envelope, there's tire treads on it from the stencil.
Oh yeah, we've got that one coming up for, of course, the travel method. We talked about tire treads. Everybody's like, why do you want that in there? I said, well, it does kind of showcase travel, doesn't it? You're just zooming on down the road. So the stencil line that we have with Tim, obviously, is in two sizes. We've got the, as Tim would call, the regulation stencils, that is always utilized in a number 10 size tag, maybe a little smaller than that, but in that range. And the stencils go from very, very complicated over the years to some stencils that are not as complicated, but Tim always puts a tough twist on everything, because a straight line or a smooth circle is not in his wheelhouse. He likes to make it a little rough. Matt and Zach do a lot of work to make these things all work. However, you know, even stencils, like when he first did the clock stencil, I can't tell you how many tags I've made over the years that utilize this, and then the flourish and so forth. And we've got some different words over here that have to do, in my mind, with travel. And then Tim's got the mini stencils, and the mini stencils, as you can see, are about 2/3 the size. It's quite the value because you get 3 stencils in the pack. So just an amazing assortment of usages here that we've gotten. And again, we've got tags from everybody. Colbert from Canada has made an amazing one using pastes, using our Umbrella Man, all the different fantastic colors. Of course, always go back, please, to the maker's social media, where they've got all the detailed call outs on things and show what and how they've done these things. Colbert has made a 3D tag here that's got more layers in it than I could even count. The amount of creativity that goes into them, and then the color and the scheme is wonderful. And using these stencils, you can just make a card so much more three-dimensional, so easy. Louisa's taken one of our mixed media sets and made that sing. Latifa, of course, with her fantastic Photoshop shots. I just love where she picks up all of her accoutrements for the pictures, because they really make it stand out. Sharon using the blueprint tag and so forth, but in the background, the stencils for the arrows that really help us throughout most of the utilizing that set. Julianne has utilized here the tire treads, as Trevor said, in the back of this one, and it really jumps out.
That was awesome.
Vicky's got one here with the stencil of the words behind it, and then a lot of Tim's accessories from the line from Advantis. It's just so useful for all the different tic-tac things we've got. And then when you start to look at the vast array of what you have here, it's just over the top of what we can utilize all the different projects in different ways, and how they, again, when Tim picked all these people and they volunteered to help out with so many things, it's just over the top with the different styles and how it all works with everybody. Utilizing whether it be paper, Etcetera tags, whatever it might be as their background medium, it just lets you do many things. Our first mixed media set, of course, the people that may not know about this, when we're in the chains and so forth, the majors, as Tim would call them, they have to have a certain amount of material in them and a certain amount of ability to be at the right price point. So Tim, again, came up with the idea of combining two stencils, always that he's done in the past, so that you have a value that you can use two styles. And then from there, he would always add the stamp set on there. And we kept those in polymer because many of the people that buy from the chains may or may not be as experienced and not be able to place as easily with the pink rubber as a person can with polymer. Jen, with her fantastic, beautiful, bright colors, has done an amazing job to show that these tags, being the birthday theme, are all bright and cheery and really give you a great look for things. Louisa, yeah, exactly. This one looks like it's, I think this is one of her splat cards here that she's been really doing a lot of in the background, which has been one of her new things. Tammy, of course, has always shown off the different ways of creating things, whether it be three-dimensional or not. She's got something coming up later here I'll show you that I'm really excited to share. As always, throughout you start looking at some of these things and you just can't believe the amount of work that goes into it. Whether it be Colbert, that took it and utilized both, again, stencils and layering techniques that just make things jump. And of course, Sharon, who utilized that back stencil of the top only, and was able to put it as a great background, then utilizing the bottom with this one, Di took and utilized that and then used her little doodles, as she always does, on the circles with a white pen and a like. But again, it really shows off the way that all these things are utilized differently, but yet the same. The colors just jump. And we're just so blessed to have it. Got some glitter on this one here, just to give you a little bit of a extra little look at that, whether it be through a glitter spray or a glitter pen. This one here, obviously, it looks like more of a little bit of adhesive and then some glitter sprayed on there too. With the matte and glitter all at once, it really shows the different surfaces. The next one that we've done with the mixed media is a set that's got some really nifty stencil work to it, real fine lines. So the fine lines really make the things stand out for when you're doing a background and alike. But these are an elegant flower set that can really make things pretty and elegant. Tammy's now done a background here that's got a little look like leather. Zoe has got something that has, with the Photoshop that she's made, it just takes it to another entire look of how it's laid out. This has got a combination of our fabulous flourishes on it also, and it really just goes in and out. As a fellow that's somewhat colorblind, utilizing the browns and the blues together is a little challenging, but it is done spectacularly here. Cassie, one of my Buckeye natives here and a homegrown Clevelander, has done different things to make it look gorgeous in her own liking. So again, these are just all the different ways that the backgrounds with the stencils are so muted because it's not so heavy, but yet, and the artist kind of went and played with it that way. So very pleased with that. At a certain point, Tim came up with a line of words that were bold type, we called them, and those bold typesets were in rubber, and then we took them into the polymer. Then Tim also took them into the Sizzix line, and we've got cutouts that way too. So there were quite a bit that came up through there. Colbert has taken and of course just knocked it out of the park with the colors. And I really, really, really love this one by Susie. It's so muted on this, how it looks on the paper, on a glossy paper, utilizing that. And people always forget that we can use all the different elements, whether it be on watercolor paper, on shiny stock, on matte coated paper. Tammy, of course, has made something that has, as always, just with a folding card, just sometimes people go a little crazy with the dies that are out there, but there's so many different ways to do things also with just the mechanics that we've done over the years. Vicky taking and making something like a blueprint, and so appropriate for her because she does so many different things that are over the top with construction, as it would be maybe done first with a blueprint and then done second with the layout like this. So again, the usage of all the different sets combined and alike. Another mixed media set that we thought was pretty good for travel was the traveling directional fingers and hands. And then from there, also a lot of things that look a lot like postage marks and so forth. So this stamp set has a lot of little pieces that you can utilize in many, many different ways. We got a couple of samples that came in utilizing that, but to take something and make it out of it with that is beautiful for the background. If you look at this background, the different collage techniques that Juliana has used here really just is a tribute to how you can make an image sing so many different ways with simple background artwork. Zoe made a fantastic card here. And just the matting of a piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
Long ago, I was taught that it's something so important to frame the outside of a card, whether it be with a stitch line and or with the outline of a pen. A lot of people lately have been doing a lot of things with sewing. Tim has really inspired people to do that. But surely, I've never had a sewing machine at a stamp show, so we've never done that myself, and I don't think I would want to. But even watching die maker quilts recently with Tim's fabric, and doing some of this English paper piercing that she's been teaching with Tim's fabric, and the dies that we have for that has really taken off for that. And I encourage you to take a peek at those. This is a birthday set, again, in the mixed media line, where it's got different components that you can utilize, but quite the party set, as it were. We're having some more usage now with the Etcetera tags. Tammy has done a card that is just really, really beautifully done in the color scheme that is just bright and pretty. Cassie going back to something that's a little more muted and alike, but wonderful in its own right. Diane and Jay, they a tribute to Mr. Boo, I guess you'd say, as the
absolutely.
cat lover that she is, and Susie making up a fantastic Etcetera tag here that is over the top with different layers and so forth of a transparency. Zoe here again using different pastes and cutouts and so forth. And then when we get back, and you can see this, it's in person, you can see that this has got the plastic on the front, the acetate that is stamped to accent the gentleman. And then this is a fun one that Joy made, where we've got the little shakety shakes, as Tim would call it, in the tag with the mica crystals and the like. So something that's even more usable in the holiday season, but here it is used in the time period for birthday cards, and everybody loves getting a shakety shake card or something that's got a wobble on it. Moving cards and so forth have always been something that we really just love and have had fun with over the years. I think we're getting close to the end of the mixed media. Is this it, Trev?
That's it for mixed media. Yep.
This is it for mixed media. This is one that's got lots of phrases, and one of the things we always try to do is, encourage usage of phrases and so forth of the different ability to put on the inside of cards or on the outsides of cards. But again, through Susie and Barbara cards here, they show the use of the stencils for watermarking and reversing. What a neat way to do things here. And of course, Barbara with the tag that is on so much of the social media that Matt used this time. We were able to really have a lot of fun with that. But as you can see, the gamut that's out there is nice in so many different ways. And the cutouts and the details with Tim's different things over the years from Sizzix on the die cuts just really make it also just sing and so forth. So we've got some nifty tags that were made with that set. And then we start getting into the actual Etcetera tags. Is this where the Etcetera tags is the last box, right?
This one's flown by. This is our.
Well, we're doing good on time. We're getting good on time. We pick some prize winners, talk a little bit more, and let everybody have a cup of coffee or a glass of water or something before, maybe even a glass of wine if you're in Europe or something. And it's the afternoon or early evening, getting ready for Tim and Mario.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere. You're right about that. But here are the Etcetera tags. We're going to continue to try to bring in and showcase many of the things that Tim designed over the years that people may not even realize. This is the next size up. Last time it was the number 8 tags, and this time it's the mini tags that we've had, and then also the facades that make different types of shapes and so forth that you can actually build all kinds of, as you can see, the different styles here, and they're on the site showing that off. But we have got some amazing tag cards here this time, coming to us from all over. Barbara from Italy has shrined our little umbrella guy in here with that. And then we've got an amazing one that I'm going to showcase a little bit with Tammy, with some of her extra creativity that she did with that. Tammy also, the inset shot shows all the different things that she used from all the different things. I can never thank all of our artists who just really go out of their way to really do things over and above what we could ever have dreamt this could turn into. Di and Jay taking their talents and doing it in the look of a total Dilutions layout. Louisa doing the collage that she is known for.
So many things.
So many things. She's just got so many different layers of the different things.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold these up.
We'll hold up each one of these in its own right. And of course, Latifa showing off about 5 different layers on this one, utilizing the mini tag, the facade, and alike. Latifa here using some ideology that on both of her tags, she's got ideology that just is beautiful. And then Barbara kind of going a little bit towards Vicky's way with making something a little rustic and rusty, as it were. Susie, one more last shot for the 4th of July coming up and saluting America. And we are using, there again, the mini tag and the facade. So without any looking at whose or where, but just showing the detail, how this has just got so many different layers between the facade tag on a mini tag with all the different ability to take the one stamp set for the dragonfly from our Stampers Anonymous set and making something that's got a transparency on it, a tag that's got the kitty cats on it with all the wonderful stenciling and so forth with the pastes. We've got, again, another facade tag utilizing the facade and the background, and then star stamps out and cut out and the like. Latifa's tags where these are got a little spinner on the one, and we've got the arrows here, which way's which, and you can't really see it as good, but I can sure feel all the different paste levels and so forth. And of course, dressing up the seam binding ribbon that's up on top of the tag that just really dresses it up. Tim would get a little aggravated with me many times when I would use his ink pads and I would drag the seam binding ribbon through there, and I kind of left things a little dirty, and he'd come in and have to spend time cleaning up the demo drawer before we started at a show from the catastrophe that I might have had for a period of time made up. Barbara taking, obviously, this part of the facade, simply putting it behind it, a cutout and a nice little heart with this, obviously using some of the ideology component on top. with it, just those layers, and then the outlining of the stencil. Not even stencil. I think she just used the paste with the knife and then put in some glitter and some ink. This is the one that I said, is a little bit of an homage to the techniques all used. Here we've got an embossing folder that's been run through the paper and then put that on the tag along with then the stencils and the gears and alike. So taking an Etcetera tag and just really dressing that up beautifully. Dye, taking, and with Jay, the two of them took and did something here that's got just color galore in her way. And as I said,
He looks so sad and alone.
well, he's waiting for his friends to show up for the party.
Lost all his blues.
And then here's Tammy's one where she took Tim's, I believe it's Tim's leather paper, watercolor paper, and then she made it look so much like leather here by putting on an Etcetera tag with the hotel travel marks and luggage tags. And then inside, she's got all of the different, the back of this one here, there's a little bunch of pockets that have all of the little tags that go with it. And then utilizing all the sets of the rainbow here that we provided this time, different stamp sets all the way through, doing different techniques on them, some detailed, some just a little quick shot, but just really taking and dressing up this fantastic little project that really encourages you to just want to get out there and travel. And then you got another pocket in the back with more leather on here. But what a fantastic array of projects as it is that we've been so lucky to have.
Absolutely, another great round.
It just amazes us every time. So we're really, really happy and excited. Will, I think that you've got some winners. How are we doing over there? What do we got? How many you got for me?
I got 5.
5? Well, we're going to need some more than that, probably.
I can get more than that.
All right. Well, while we're closing up, Will's going to pick some more than 5. Let's go at least 10. Is that okay? 5 more, so that we get some people that get that. The comments. It seems like everybody kind of likes what the artists have done. I see so many familiar people there. Joy, thanks so much for getting these into us. With the pictures didn't show up. I'm sorry we didn't get those. That's why I was kind of holding those up and going that route. I'm trying to make sure I look at the camera a little better. They've tried to make me do this. That's possible because we weren't on the camera that much, thank goodness.
Yeah.
We want to showcase the tags and not Trev and I. Tim and Mario, we surely don't have their good looks, but we have their energy, if nothing else. I wanted to say again, thank you to everybody, whether it be Danielle, who takes care of our social media, Zach, who takes care of a lot of the designing of the stamps with Tim over the years, Matt, who takes care of the stencils, and totally Matt for taking care of really setting us up with this. Rhonda, who takes care of moving things around. Margaret, who's my big sister. She does a lot of the stuff in the office with all of the accounts and so forth. And then Tom, the website, Will at the shows and does things. Looking up at the picture, looking up at the camera. All right, then we got to do that for sure. Well, I'm reading the screen too, and it's so many different things. Again, to think that Tim and Mario have done this for 5-6 years. At 3 or 4 releases times 5 different brands. It's over the top to really give them the due credit that they deserve for all the times that they have done all of the work that they did to share all these things, and now to teach us how to use so many of the products and let Tim really have some fun with some of the things that he's finally getting to play with that he never could in the past. Don't forget to go to all of our makers' social media through our links or direct. They're all there, and they've got more step outs of all of their projects and alike that they've done, and they'll show you different ways that they have created with it.
We're gonna
Yes.
add their links in the show notes later too.
Perfect. On the replay, we'll have those added. Matt's saying.
Yeah, we'll put them in the show notes, everybody.
So that'll be great. Obviously, don't forget that we've got a newsletter that goes out all the time with all the new things that are happening, whether it be re-releases or new releases and the like. Tammy, thanks for the thumbs up. We're trying as always to do what we do. We really just have a lot of fun here at Stampers Anonymous.
And I didn't see too many questions here today. The one question I did see come up was where to purchase all of our products today. And that is all going to be on stampersanonymous.com. We have a Curations tab just for this release, so it's all curated together.
And you were posting links throughout to the products too.
Rondo's helping out with that from our southern office for Stampers
Right,
Anonymous.
right. Ron did all that. Don't forget that there is a different way of getting a little combined bundle. Tim always is big on bundling things, and so because there's so much, we couldn't bundle it. So what we did was we created a little discount code for the $100 milestone, the $150 milestone, and the $200 milestone. And as always, free shipping that we take care of. Everything's already in stock and ready to go out. We've got Will bringing in all the different prize winners, so I'm going to go ahead and announce that. We're one person short this weekend, so we're kind of learning to do this. But again, to think that Tim and Mario do this by themselves, I know that Paula always has done so much to help, and so has Zoe. But it's crazy. So the following things that we want to announce would be Catherine Blay, Tracy A, Penny Bailey. How do we pronounce this? That would be we get to Janice Carl Designs, Cindy Messner, Kathy Crowley, Eliza Boo, Raylene Pittman, Kathy Nevin. And this looks like it's
Katiri's Crafty Ideas.
Yes, exactly. So you want to email Tom at support@Stampers Anonymous, and you've all won a gift certificate to utilize our website as a way for us to thank you for being with us today, and encourage you to tell all your friends. We'll be back again with Halloween and Christmas still coming along for 2025, and then
some surprises for Halloween.
Yes, we do. We do have some surprises for that. And we'll have some, at that point, we'll finally have our ability to get our tour of the shop of some different areas for manufacturing and the like. We're going to have little snippets for that so we can zoom in and out. But we knew that this one we had to keep going at the right time speed so that we could have the slate cleared and let Tim do his magic with the neon inks coming up here in a few short minutes. So with...
Who do they email again?
They're going to email Tom at support@stampersanonymous.com. So support@stampersanonymous.com. You can also always call our toll-free number if you've got any questions. It's 1-800-945-3980. That is our toll-free number. Kathy and Margaret in the office will be glad to take care of any questions that you might have if I either spoke too quick or slurred my words a little bit because I'm zipping along here. And so there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of us, whether it be through the website, through our toll-free number. But we really, as a family, just thank everyone for being with us at Stampers Anonymous. It's exciting to spend time together. We hope that you've had some fun seeing all the fantastic makes. This could not be done without, obviously, first and foremost, Tim and Mario, who have taken care of being part of our family for almost 20 years now. And then, of course, our makers that Tim has been so gracious to share their talents with us. And they've been so gracious to jump on and help us share what goes on for the makes. When we travel to shows, we'll be in Florida this next weekend and then all over the country. We'll have at different times. We've had for the last 3 or 4 shows the Curations spring makes and so forth with them there. And then we also have the Curations now that's going to be obviously the summertime listed and shown that way also. So we have everything at the shows. We've got everything on the website.
And stay tuned for Stamp Away coming up.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Stamp Away is going to be in Cincinnati. We have, I think, over 40 classes. Is that correct, I believe?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're loaded. We've got a full 2-day slate.
Classes are already sold out in some aspects, so make sure you take a peek at that. It is definitely an event worth coming to. It's more than just a stamp show. We have a Friday night extravaganza where some people actually get involved with costumes and so forth. And then from there, Saturday all day long. Di and Reevely will be there demoing for the Stampers Anonymous booth. And we've just got everybody from all over the country coming in.
I'll be wearing something stupid.
He always outdoes himself, whether it be here at the lives, whether it be in design, whether it be just as a fantastic co-worker, but also costume-wise, he definitely goes over the top. have to say my favorite is when he did the riding of the dinosaur. That was a two-parter that was over the top. So
well, and now I know we're getting close to that time. We're 10 minutes away. I started posting, if you guys have seen in the chat, the links for Mr. Tim's next live here, like I said, in 10 minutes, and I think it's time to wrap it up.
It's time. So thank you so much. We'll be back in another few short months to do Halloween and fall. And as Matt kind of alluded to, we've got some really exciting surprises for that. And then again, some plant tours that we're going to start implementing. We thought we'd have it for this, sorry, but we're going to get it better every time, I hope. And hope that you've enjoyed this. And thank you again for everything. A huge shout out to Louisa. That song stays in my head all the time. And we're so blessed to have that. So thanks for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for Tim's fantastic alcohol ink release. I hope that we did Tim a little proud by showing off so many of his fantastic makers' artworks in so many different ways. So for that,
guys.
Thanks for everybody being with us. Thanks to everyone who helped out in this live. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Some folks go fishing, others do puzzles. There's hikers and bikers, wise men knit scarves, Netflix and chill, or dancing all night. Yoga at sunrise or bathed in a pie. But oh, I'm a steppers and no, not a must. Stamps and stencils, an addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. Oh, I'm a Stampers Anonymous. Nature's moments, where it all began. The professor, the inspector, Mona sketchbook, oh man. Urban tapestry, spooky stuff, moths study and flutter. Tiny text and ledger script, they all matter. Eclectic adverts and crazy birds too. Tim and Ted have a stamp set for every mood. But oh, I'm a stampers and no, not a must. Stamps and stencils, an addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. Oh, I'm a Stampers Anonymous. Yeah, I'm proud to say I'm a Stamper